The galaxy was old, very old. Thousands of species had traveled between stars for millions of years. They had built empires, fought wars, and made peace. They had rules and councils and systems that worked well for them. Then humans arrived. It had only been 200 years since Earth sent its first ships beyond the solar system. In galactic terms, this was nothing, a blink of an eye. The older species looked at humanity the way adults look at children playing with toys. They were not cruel about it. They simply did not take humans seriously. Commander Park Do-yoon understood this very well. He had attended meetings with alien officials. He had seen how they smiled when humans spoke. He had watched them ignore human suggestions and laugh at human concerns. It was not hatred. It was something worse. It was dismissal. But Do-yoon did not let this bother him. He had work to do. His ship, the Starlight Pioneer, was a small research vessel. It carried 12 crew members, all of them scientists and engineers. Their job was simple. They flew to distant moons and planets. They took samples. They measured minerals and gases. They sent reports back to Earth. It was quiet work, boring, even. But Do-yoon liked it. Today they were orbiting a small moon in an unclaimed region of space. The moon had no name, just a number. It was gray and dead, covered in craters. But the sensors showed interesting mineral deposits beneath the surface. Lieutenant Kim Yuna sat at the scanning station. She was young, barely 30, with sharp eyes and quick hands. She had joined the crew 6 months ago. Do-yoon liked her. She was smart and calm, even when things went wrong. "The readings are good, Commander," Yuna reported. "High concentrations of rare metals. This could be valuable." Do-yoon nodded. "Good. Continue the scans. We will send a full report tomorrow." The bridge was quiet. The hum of the engines was soft and steady. Engineer Han Yoonji was checking the power systems in the back. Communications Officer Baek Ji-soo was reading something on her screen. Everyone was relaxed. Then the alarm started. The sound cut through the silence like a knife. Red lights flashed across every console. Yuna's fingers moved fast, pulling up data. 3 ships just dropped out of faster-than-light travel, she said. Her voice was still calm, but Do-yoon could hear the tension underneath. "They are big, very big. Identification?" Do-yoon asked. Ji-soo looked up from her screen. Her face had gone pale. "Valkyrie. They are Valkyrie warships." The bridge went silent. Everyone knew that name. The Valkyrie were not like the other species in the galaxy. They did not attend council meetings. They did not sign treaties. They did not negotiate. They were conquerors. Their empire spread across hundreds of systems, and it grew larger every year. They took what they wanted, and they destroyed what they did not need. Worse, the Valkyrie did not see other species as equals. They did not even see them as enemies. They saw them as resources, food, tools, things to be used and thrown away. "They are hailing us," Ji-soo said. "Put it through." The main screen flickered. A face appeared. It was not really a face. The Valkyrie looked like giant insects. They had hard shells, many legs, and eyes that seemed to look in all directions at once. Their mouths had sharp parts that moved when they spoke. The universal translator turned their clicks and hisses into words. "Small vessel. You are in Valkyrie space. You will surrender. Resistance is not recommended." Do-yoon stood up slowly. "This region is listed as unclaimed in all galactic records. We are a research vessel from Earth. We mean no harm." The Valkyrie made a sound that might have been laughter. "Earth. Yes. The young ones. The weak ones. You will make good workers. Maybe good food. Surrender now." The screen went dark. Yun looked at her console. "They are charging weapons, Commander." Do-yoon felt cold. His ship had no weapons. It was never meant for combat. It was never meant to be in danger at all. They were scientists. They measured rocks and wrote reports. They were not soldiers. "Can we run?" he asked. Unji answered from the engineering station. "No. Their ships are faster. They will catch us in minutes." "Can we hide?" "No. There is nowhere to hide." Do-hyun closed his eyes. He thought about his crew. 12 people. 12 lives. They had families back home. They had dreams and plans. They had trusted him to keep them safe. He had failed them. But there was one thing he could still do. "Jisoo," he said. "Send a distress call. Standard Terran emergency frequency. All channels." Jisoo hesitated. "Commander, we are 3 days from the nearest human outpost. Even if someone hears us, they cannot reach us in time." "Send it anyway." She nodded and began working. Her fingers moved across the controls. The message was simple. Their location, their ship name, the nature of the threat. She sent it on every frequency, in every direction, as far as the signal could reach. When she was done, she looked at Do-hyun. "It is sent, Commander. But I do not think anyone will come." Do-hyun sat back in his chair. The Valkyrie ships were getting closer. Their weapons were ready. His crew was scared. They had no hope. But somewhere, across the vast darkness of space, the signal was traveling. It was moving at the speed of light. And faster, through relay stations and quantum networks that most species did not even know existed. Somewhere, someone was listening. And humanity was about to show the galaxy what it truly meant to call for help. The message traveled faster than light. Most species in the galaxy used radio waves or laser signals to communicate. These methods were slow. A message could take years to reach its destination. By the time help arrived, the crisis was long over, but humanity had built something different deep beneath the surface of Mars. There was a facility that did not exist on any official record. It had no name. It had no visitors. The workers who built it had signed contracts promising never to speak of it. The engineers who maintained it lived there permanently, cut off from the outside world. This facility contained the heart of humanity's greatest secret, a network of quantum-entangled relays that stretched across human space. When a signal entered this network, it did not travel through space. It appeared instantly at its destination, no matter how far away. The distress call from the Starlight Pioneer arrived at the facility exactly 0.3 seconds after Jisoo sent it. A technician named No Timon saw it first. He was 26 years old, fresh from the academy, and he had never seen a real emergency before. For a moment, he just stared at the screen. Then he ran. Admiral Choi Sunho was eating dinner when Timon burst into his quarters. The young man was out of breath, his face red, his hands shaking. "Admiral, distress call. Valkyrie warships. 12 of our people." Sunho put down his fork slowly. He was 63 years old. His hair was gray. His face was lined with wrinkles. He had served in the Terran Navy for 40 years, longer than most of his crew had been alive. In all that time, he had been waiting for this moment. "Show me," he said. They walked to the command center. It was a large room filled with screens and consoles. Officers in crisp uniforms sat at every station. They all looked up when Sunho entered. He read the message carefully. The coordinates, the ship name, the threat assessment. 3 Valkyrie warships against 1 unarmed research vessel. "How long ago?" he asked. 4 minutes, sir," Timon answered. Sunho nodded. 4 minutes. The Valkyrie had probably already captured the ship. They might have already killed the crew, but there was still a chance. A small chance. "Activate the fleet," he said. The room went silent. Every officer stopped what they were doing. They all turned to look at the Admiral. Captain Yoon Mi-rae stepped forward. She was Sunho's second in command. She had been with him for 15 years. She knew what he was asking. "The entire fleet, Admiral?" Every single ship. Mireille did not argue. She did not question. She simply nodded and began giving orders. What happened next would later be called the greatest mobilization in galactic history. Across human space, signals went out. They reached shipyards that were officially listed as abandoned. They reached asteroid fields where nothing was supposed to exist. They reached the dark spaces behind gas giants where sensors could not see dot, and everywhere the signals reached. Ships began to wake up. The Galactic Council believed that humanity had 47 combat vessels. This was the number in their records. This was the number human diplomats had confirmed every inspection. 47 ships. A tiny force. Barely enough to defend a single system. The real number was 4,712. For 200 years, humanity had been building in secret. Every decommissioned shipyard was actually working at full capacity. Every mining operation in the outer systems was actually a construction facility. Every research station was actually a training ground human engineers had studied. Every alien weapon and defense system. Human scientists had improved on every design. Human factories had worked day and night, year after year, producing ships that no one knew existed. Now those ships were coming online in orbit around Saturn. A carrier named Eternal Vigilance lit its engines for the first time in 3 years. It was half a kilometer long. It carried 200 smaller fighters in its belly in the asteroid belt. 12 destroyers emerged from hidden docks. Their hulls were black, designed to absorb sensor readings. Their weapons were cold, waiting to be armed. Near Alpha Centauri, a battlecruiser called the Iron Will received its orders. Its captain, a woman named Cha Selmi, had trained her crew for exactly this scenario. They had run the simulation 1,000 times. Now it was real. And at the edge of the Sol system, the largest ship ever built by human hands began to move. The TRS Indomitable was 2 kilometers long. It had enough firepower to destroy a small moon. Admiral Choi Sun-ho stood on its bridge, watching the stars. All ships reporting ready, Mireille announced. 4,712 vessels. All moving to the target coordinates. Sun-ho allowed himself a small smile. Time to arrival? Approximately 72 hours for the full fleet. The advance group will arrive in 72 hours. 3 days. It was a long time. Many things could go wrong. The crew of the Starlight Pioneer might already be dead, but Sun-ho did not believe in giving up. Humanity did not believe in giving up. Send a message to all ships, he said. Tell them what we are doing. Tell them why. 12 of our people are in danger. We are going to bring them home. Every single one of them. Mireille typed the message. She sent it to every ship in the fleet. 4,712 captains read those words. 4,712 crews understood what was at stake. And across the darkness of space, humanity went to war. Not for territory. Not for resources. Not for power. For 12 people who had called for help. Commander Park Do-hyun had expected to die. 3 days had passed since the Valkyrie captured his ship. 3 days of fear and pain and waiting. 3 days that felt like 3 years. The aliens had been rough. They did not treat their prisoners like people. They treated them like animals. Like cargo. Like things. The crew of the Starlight Pioneer was held in a small room on the Valkyrie flagship. The room had no windows. The walls were made of cold metal. There were no chairs, no beds, no comforts of any kind. Just a hard floor and a locked door. Do-hyun sat with his back against the wall. His uniform was torn. His face was bruised. A Valkyrie guard had hit him when he tried to protect one of his crew members. It did not matter. He would do it again. Around him, his people were quiet. Kim Yuna sat near the door, watching it with tired eyes. Engineer Han Unji was in the corner, her arms wrapped around her knees. Baek Ju-soo was trying to comfort the younger crew members. Everyone was scared. Everyone was exhausted. What do you think they will do with us? Someone asked. It was one of the junior scientists. His name was Shin Woojin. He was only 20-4. No one answered. They all knew what the Valkyrie did with prisoners. They had heard the stories. Some would become slaves. Some would become experiments. Some would become food. We are not dead yet, Doyun said. His voice was calm, steady. As long as we are alive, there is hope. Yoonji made a small, bitter sound. Hope for what? No one is coming for us. We are too far from human space. We are too small to matter. The galaxy does not care about 12 people on a research ship. Dohan wanted to argue. He wanted to say that help was on the way. But he could not lie to his crew. The truth was simple and cruel. They were alone. They had always been alone. The hours passed slowly. The guards brought water once. No food. The Valkyrie seemed to enjoy watching them suffer. Then something changed. It started with a sound. A low rumble that vibrated through the walls. Do-hyun felt it in his bones. He stood up quickly. What is that? Yuna asked. Before anyone could answer, the ship shook. Hard. People fell to the floor. The lights flickered. Alarm sounds filled the air. The Valkyrie guards outside their cell started clicking rapidly. Their voices sounded different now. Higher. Faster. They sounded scared. Do-hyun moved to the small window in the door. He could see the guards running. They were panicking. Something was very wrong. Then the wall exploded. Not the wall of their cell. The outer wall of the ship. Do-hyun could see it through a gap in the corridor. Metal tore apart like paper. The vacuum of space pulled at everything. Emergency shields activated just in time to stop them from being sucked out. Through the hole in the wall, Do-hyun saw something that stopped his heart. Ships. Human ships. Not one or two. Not 10 or 20. Hundreds. Thousands. They filled the space outside like stars. Big ships and small ships. Warships and carriers and destroyers. All of them bearing the blue and white symbol of Earth. That is impossible, Yoonji whispered. She had crawled to the window next to him. Her eyes were wide. Humanity does not have that many ships. We only have 47 in the whole fleet. Apparently not, Doyun said. And for the first time in 3 days, he smiled. The battle, if it could be called that, was over in minutes. The 3 Valkyrie warships were surrounded. They were outgunned by a factor of 1,000 to 1. Their weapons fired once, twice. Human shields absorbed the shots easily. Human weapons did not fire back. They did not need to. On the bridge of the Valkyrie flagship, the commander was screaming orders. His crew was not listening. They were too busy staring at the screens. Every display showed the same thing. Human ships. Everywhere. An ocean of metal and fire that stretched as far as sensors could see. The commander had conquered dozens of species. He had destroyed hundreds of worlds. He had never felt fear before. He felt it now. This is Admiral Choi Sun-ho of the Terran Navy, a voice said over the communication system. It was calm, almost polite. You are holding 12 citizens of Earth. You will release them immediately. This is not a request. The Valkyrie commander wanted to refuse. He wanted to fight. He wanted to show these young, weak humans that the Valkyrie did not surrender. But then he looked at the screens again. He counted the ships. He calculated the firepower. He realized, with perfect clarity, that he could not win. He could not even survive. We will release the prisoners, he said. His voice was shaking. Please, do not fire. The human admiral's voice came back. Still calm. Still polite, Smart choice. 30 minutes later, the door to the cell opened. A human soldier stood there. He was wearing combat armor. He was carrying a weapon. Behind him, Do-hyun could see more soldiers, all human, all armed. "Commander Park?" The soldier asked. "I am Sergeant Kwon Ji-yuk. We are here to take you home." Do-hyun stood up slowly. His legs were weak. His eyes were wet. Around him, his crew was crying. Some were laughing. Most were doing both. "How?" he asked. "How is this possible?" Sergeant Kwon smiled. "You called for help, Commander." Humanity answered. As they walked through the corridors of the captured Valkyrie ship, Do-hyun looked out the windows. The human fleet was still there. Thousands of ships, all waiting, all watching. They had come across the galaxy for 12 people. 12 ordinary people who had sent a simple distress call. And in that moment, Do-hyun understood something important. Humanity was not weak. It had never been weak. It had simply been waiting. The galaxy was about to learn what happened when you threatened the children of Earth. Admiral Choi Sun-ho stood on the bridge of the TRS Indomitable. Around him, screens showed the entire scene. The 3 Valkyrie warships sat motionless, surrounded by a ring of human vessels so thick that stars could not be seen through it. Smaller ships moved between them like fish around whales. Shuttles carried the rescued crew to safety. Medical teams checked their injuries. The operation was running perfectly, but it was not over yet. "The Valkyrie commander is requesting to speak with you," Captain Yoon Mi-rae reported. "He seems nervous. Put him through." The main screen changed. The insect face of the Valkyrie commander appeared. His many eyes moved rapidly. His sharp mouth parts clicked together in what looked like fear. "Human Admiral," the alien began. "This is a misunderstanding. We did not know these people were important. We thought they were just workers. Common people. We would never have touched them if we knew—" "If you knew what?" Sun-ho interrupted. His voice was soft, quiet, dangerous. "If we knew they were protected. If we knew they mattered." Sun-ho let the silence stretch. He wanted the alien to feel it. He wanted every Valkyrie watching this transmission to understand. "Let me explain something to you," Sun-ho said finally. "Every human matters. The captain of a warship and the cleaner of toilets. The president and the child. We do not rank our people by importance. We do not decide who deserves protection and who does not." He stepped closer to the screen. "You captured 12 scientists, researchers, people who study rocks and write reports. They have no political power. They have no military value. By your standards, they are worthless." The Valkyrie commander said nothing. His eyes kept moving. "But we brought our entire fleet for them," Sun-ho continued. 4,712 ships. Do you understand what that means? It means we will fight the same war for a child as we would for a king. It means no human is acceptable collateral. It means if you touch one of us, you have touched all of us." The alien's voice was weak now, broken. "What do you want?" "I want you to tell your hegemony what you saw today. I want you to tell them that humanity is not what they thought. I want every Valkyrie commander, every soldier, every citizen to know that if they harm a human, the consequences will be the same. Not proportional, not measured, total." Sun-ho paused. When he spoke again, his voice was almost kind. "You were lucky today. You did not kill anyone. If you had, this conversation would be very different. Your ships would be debris. Your crew would be dust. And I would be planning the same fate for your home world." The Valkyrie commander made a sound. It might have been a sob. "We understand. We will tell them. We will tell everyone." "Good," Sun-ho nodded. "You may leave now. Take your ships. Go home. Remember what you learned. The transmission ended. The Valkyrie ships began to move away slowly, carefully, like animals leaving the territory of a larger predator. The human fleet let them go. They were not worth destroying. They were worth something better. They were witnesses. Captain Mayray walked to Sunho's side. The council will not be happy about this, she said quietly. We revealed our fleet. Every species in the galaxy will know now. That was the plan. Sir? Sunho turned to look at her. There was something in his eyes that she had never seen before. It was old. It was tired. It was also determined. For 200 years, we have hidden, he said. We have pretended to be weak. We have let them laugh at us. We have let them dismiss us. Do you know why? Mayray shook her head. Because we were not ready. Our fleet was not large enough. Our technology was not advanced enough. If we had revealed ourselves too soon, they would have destroyed us before we could defend ourselves. So we waited. We built. We prepared. He looked out at the stars. But we were always going to reveal ourselves eventually. We were always going to show the galaxy who we really are. The question was, when? And how? And you chose this? A rescue mission for 12 people? Sunho smiled. It was a sad smile. A knowing smile. What better way to introduce humanity? Not with a conquest. Not with a demand. With a rescue. With proof that we will cross the galaxy for our own. With a message that says we are strong, but we are not cruel. That we can destroy, but we would rather protect. He turned back to the bridge. Officers were working at their stations. Ships were moving into formation. The rescued crew of the Starlight Pioneer was being brought aboard for medical care. The galaxy will learn to fear us, Sunho said. That was always necessary. Fear keeps predators away. But I did not want fear to be the only thing they learned. I wanted them to understand something else. What? That we are worth fearing because we love each other. That our strength comes from caring. That we would burn the universe for a stranger, just because that stranger is human. Mayray was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded. I think they will understand, Admiral. I hope so, Captain. I truly hope so. The fleet held its position for another hour. Then, slowly, the ships began to disperse. Some returned to their hidden bases. Others went to patrol new territories. A few remained as escorts for the Starlight Pioneer, which would be repaired and returned to service. But the message had been sent. It would travel faster than any ship. Every species, every empire, every government in the galaxy would hear about this day. Humanity had shown its teeth, and the galaxy would never see them the same way again. The Galactic Council met in emergency session. This had happened before, of course. Crises came and went. Wars started and ended. Empires rose and fell. The Council had survived for 1,000 years by adapting to change, but nothing had prepared them for this. The Great Chamber was full. Every species had sent their highest leaders. The oldest civilizations sat in their ancient seats. The younger ones crowded the galleries. All of them had seen the recordings. All of them had heard the reports. Humanity had a fleet of nearly 5,000 warships. Humanity had hidden this fleet for 200 years. Humanity had mobilized everything they had for 12 ordinary people. Everything the galaxy believed about humans was wrong. Ambassador Songhound entered the chamber alone. She was a small woman. Short black hair. Simple clothes. She did not look impressive. She did not look dangerous. That was the point. The Rillan delegate spoke first. The Rillans were an old species. They had been in space for 1,000,000 years. They had seen many civilizations come and go. You lied to us, the delegate said. His voice echoed through the chamber. You deceived the entire galaxy. You violated every treaty, every agreement, every promise you made. Hound stopped in the center of the floor. She looked up at the thousands of faces watching her. Alien faces. Strange faces. Powerful faces that she was not afraid. "We never lied," she said calmly. "Your inspectors asked to see our registered military vessels. We showed them our registered military vessels. You never asked about the unregistered ones. That is a lie by omission. Perhaps. But can you blame us?" Ian's voice was still calm, still polite, but there was steel underneath. "When we first reached the stars, what did we find? We found a galaxy that had been at war for millions of years. We found species that enslaved others. We found empires that destroyed entire worlds. We found the Velthari, who eat sentient beings for pleasure." She paused. Let the words sink in. And what did we have? We had 47 ships. We had a dozen small colonies. We had hope and dreams and nothing else. If we had revealed our true plans, how long would we have survived? A year? A month? A day? The chamber was silent. "So we hid," Hound continued. "We pretended to be weak. We let you laugh at us. We let you dismiss us. We let you think we were no threat. And while you were ignoring us, we built. We prepared. We made sure that when the day came, no one could ever hurt our people again." The Velthari delegate rose. His shell was darker than the commander's had been. His eyes were older, angrier. "You threaten the balance of power," he hissed. "You destabilize everything the council has built. You are dangerous." "Yes," Hound agreed. "We are, but we are not your enemy. Not unless you make us one." She turned slowly, looking at every delegate in turn. "A single distress call brought our entire fleet. 12 lives, and we were willing to start an interstellar war. Think about what that means. We do not value our people based on their rank or their usefulness. We value them because they are ours. Every human life is precious to us. Every single one." Her voice grew softer, but somehow it carried even further. "This is not weakness. This is our greatest strength. We fight for each other. We die for each other. We cross the galaxy for each other. And anyone who threatens that bond will face the consequences." The chamber remained silent for a long moment. Then the Rillan delegate spoke again. His voice was different now, thoughtful. "What do you want, Ambassador Song? What is humanity asking for?" Hound smiled. It was a gentle smile, a tired smile. "We want peace. We want to trade and explore and learn. We want to be part of this galaxy, not separate from it. But we also want respect. Real respect. Not the fake kindness you give to those you consider beneath you. We want to be seen as equals, and if we refuse, then nothing changes. We will continue as we have. We will protect our own. We will defend our borders. We will not seek war, but we will not run from it either. The choice is yours." The Velthari delegate made an angry sound. "This is blackmail." "No," Hound replied. "This is honesty. For the first time in 200 years, humanity is being completely honest with you. We are powerful. We are protective. We are here to stay. You can be our friends or you can be our enemies. But you cannot ignore us anymore." The session lasted for many more hours. There were arguments and debates and threats. But in the end, the result was clear. The galaxy would adapt. It always did. Far away, on a small ship traveling back to Earth, Commander Park Do-hyun sat with his crew. They had been fed and treated and given clone clothes. They were tired and sore, but alive. All 12 of them. Not one lost. "I still cannot believe it," Big Jisoo said quietly. "The entire fleet. For us, that is what I keep thinking about. Kim Yuna agreed. We are nobody special. Just scientists. Just researchers. Why would they risk so much for us? Do-hyun looked out the window. The stars were passing by. Somewhere out there, the human fleet was dispersing. Thousands of ships returning to their hidden bases, waiting for the next call. I asked the Admiral the same question, Do-hyun said. When they brought us aboard, I asked him why. What did he say? Do-hyun smiled. It was a warm smile. A proud smile. He said that is what humanity does. We take care of each other. We leave no one behind. No matter the cost. No matter the risk. No matter how small or unimportant they seem. He looked at his crew, his family, his people. He said we matter. All of us. Not because of what we can do. Not because of what we are worth. But simply because we are human. Engineer Han Yoonji raised her cup of tea. Her hands were still shaking a little, but her voice was steady. To humanity. The others joined her. 12 voices speaking as one. To humanity. And out in the darkness of space, the stars kept shining. The galaxy kept turning. The old empires kept watching. But everything had changed. Humanity had announced itself. Not as conquerors. Not as destroyers. But as a family. A family that would cross the universe for its own, and the galaxy would never forget.